per so that everyone knows at this point, I believe, that honeybees, so the bees that go out, the worker bees that go out and they collect honey and they come back and they construct the hive and they do all the work in the hive, are female. The male bees are drones. They kind of just sit around at home all day and they eat and they take up space, right? But the workers are female. This was first discovered in 1637 by Richard Remnant. He was an English nobleman who wrote a paper I put in the description. It's in Old English, but you could probably still read it. And he's the first one to say that worker bees are female. Before he wrote his 1637 paper, everyone in the world thought the worker bees were male. And another common belief is that the leader of the hive, the queen, was actually a king. So they believe that hives were ruled by kings and the workers were male, until Richard Remnant proved otherwise. However, let me show you something. So in Arabic, words are gendered, nouns are gendered, right? And the things you use to describe those nouns are also gendered. If you're from Texas or you're from like a border state, you're probably familiar with this in Spanish. So I'm looking at a chair right now, right? Chair in Spanish is silla, right? So silla is female. It means chair, right? The chair is in the feminine. So if I was to talk about this chair in Spanish, right, everything that I say would have to be in the feminine form. Otherwise, if a Spanish speaker was here, they would look at me like I'm crazy, right? It doesn't make sense. It sounds crazy if you speak about it in a way that is in the improper gender. So it's the same. So in Arabic, here's a few words from this passage. So we have the word eat, if you remember the passage. We have follow the ways. And we have its bellies, or bellies. Now, I don't speak Arabic, but I'm going to pronounce these as best as I can. So cool is the transliteration, right? So this is Arabic for eat in the male. Kuli this is the female version of the same word. Eat male, eat female, right? Follow the ways. We have sluk for male and slukki for female. And then we have butanihim for male, for bellies. And then we have butaniha. If you speak Arabic, I don't care how bad I'm pronouncing it. For female, right? So what we find in the Quran is that in all three of these cases, in these two passages, when it's describing the bees who go out and they collect the honey and they go to the flowers of the fruits and then they build the hives, they do these constructions, right? Every single way it describes them, it uses the female. Now here's my question. Is there some way that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, 1,000+ years before these extremely wealthy scientists, noblemen in Europe, discovered that honeybees are females, is there some way that he could have known that? Did he have the time or the energy, or did anyone have the time to work on this and see that worker bees are female? Like, no, nobody knew this. The whole world thought they were male for 1,000 years. But here in the Quran, it describes them, the worker bees, as female. And how did they know this without divine intervention? It's impossible.